Hello everyone, and welcome to the Passionate Piscator YouTube channel. A fish straight from the off, how about that? No messing around here. Video's not even started yet and I'm catching on the Koi Lake here at Angler's Paradise. How about that for a sausage? Beautiful black and orange koi. Don't you jump. Put up a good fight. What a beautiful fish. Wow. Wow woo wee wah. Anyway, quick kiss, mwah. Pop her back into the lake and we'll keep fishing. Action from the start, exactly what we want. Right, okay, I'm going. Yes, so welcome to the best lake at Angler's Paradise. In this humble piscator's opinion, it is so, isn't it? It's absolutely fantastic. If you've fished Angler's Paradise before, you know just how amazing the Koi Lake is. It's packed full of absolutely stunning, beautiful fish. Fairly recently as well, this lake has been netted and the fish have been graded, so all the fish in here are in their peak prime condition. They are absolutely stunning. That carp I had just now, the koi, £6 he weighed. Just like to weigh the first one so I know if things are bigger or smaller. But a real hard fight. Koi are some of the most hardest fighting fish you'll find, and these are like torpedoes. They shoot off like crazy. Bit of an unusual day today. Normally when I come down to Angler's Paradise and fish for Koi Lake, there's like bright sun. The suntan lotion's on and I'm cooking like a lobster. But it's been raining all morning. In fact, it's been raining all night. In fact, it was raining all yesterday. Not that it ever rains in Devon. Liquid sunshine is what it is, of course. So it's a bit different down here today. Normally the koi are all up on the surface. You can see which ones you want and target them really easily. But I'm having to actually work to bring them up so I can see what's going on. My favourite way of fishing on the top, just with a dog biscuit, hook line, dog biscuit, that's it. You can pick the fish you're after. There's some big ones cruising around. In fact, the moment we got here, I saw that big red koi and I was like, straight on it, I've got to get that. Whilst it's there, whilst I see it, it's got to be done. But the other fish are being a bit more tentative, which is a little bit more unusual. It just means I've got to work a little bit harder. I suppose really later on, if I want to, I can fish on the bottom and just pick the fish off where they are, basically. They're not really on the top. But I like fishing on the top because you can see what fish are there and you can generally pick the ones which you want, which I tend to go for the more colourful ones, of course. And if a big donkey comes through, one of them. But anyway, I'm on the pagoda, as you can see, and I'm going to be just moving around really, just this little area. There's only me and a couple of anglers on the lakes. Plenty of room for all of us. We can all have a little bit of a look around and a mooch. Anyway, it's no good chatting when I'm literally looking around now and there's koi feeding over here. There's a few koi down here. I've really got to get onto it, haven't I, and see what's going on. Oh, yeah, it's a big one. Let's go have a look for that. Certainly tricky today, I'll give them that. What a beautiful fish. Very similar to another fish. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. What an amazing orange colour. Check that out. You can see why people love the Koi Lake, can't you? When you have fish as amazing as this. absolutely stunning. Anyway, you could look at them all day, but best to get them back in the water, eh? Magnificent. We are being tricky devils today, but then fishing shouldn't be too easy, should it? Not, well, sometimes it's good for it to be too easy, but it shouldn't always be too easy. And it's certainly never, although there's tons and tons of koi here, it's never usually too easy. It's just enough to just frustrate you, just enough to wind you up. But I mean, the problem is with me this time on the koi lake is I've been really underestimating the size of these koi. I mean, there's been a lot of fish sort of cruising through the swims, which I think, they're about sort of 4 pounds, which, don't get me wrong, is an absolutely fantastic koi. Well, even if they're this big, they're fantastic koi. But, you know, I've been trying to really pick out, as I usually do, the bigger of the fish, and the sort of looking for fish which look more like 6 pounds. So I've been sort of ignoring the 4 pound looking ones. But in the end, after time, I get to a point where I'm like, I just got to catch a fish now. It's been a good hour or more where I haven't had a fish on the line at all. And I go for one that I think, oh yeah, that's about 4 pounds, I'll have that one. And they've been 6 pounds. They've been 6 pounds. It's so deceiving, some of these fish. They just have a bit more gut underneath them. And of course, where they've been recently graded, they're all decent sizes. Well, there's a few smaller ones, but yeah, I've got to retrain my brain to thinking, actually, that's probably bigger than I think it is. Not that it matters, not that size matters, does it? But yeah, when you can see them, it's just a lot easier. If I was down here feeder fishing or float fishing and just picking fish off, you know, it doesn't matter, but the next fish that comes along is the next fish that comes along. But if you can visibly see the fish, you can sort of pick the biggest of the lot. I did have a really, really, really big leviathan of a carp come through. I mean, it was every part of double figures, but he was not interested at all. Didn't come up for any food, just cruised around for a bit and then disappeared off back onto the lake somewhere. But c'est la vie, that's always the way. I had a couple of fish out, and of course they've all scattered and disappeared. So I think I'm going to, oh, it's a big old bumblebee. Someone's trimming. I think I'll have a little wander around the other side. There's some lilies the other side, pop a few dog biscuits in, stand back, watch, wait and see what goes on. But what I might do actually is just perhaps pick a few smaller ones out, ones which I like the colours of, ones which are actually actively feeding. The sun is coming up a little bit now, which is nice. I have to put the old suntan lotion on soon. So hopefully when the sun comes out, the weather will the weather definitely will warm up a bit, but the water will warm up as a consequence of that, and bring some of these koi to the top so I can see what they're doing. Anyway, let's get back to it, I suppose. There's no rush down here today. We've got the whole day, and you know, I'm happy with just a handful of koi, but there's always plenty more to look at, plenty more to see. So I'm going to go and look at it and see it. Yeah. Ooh, yeah, it's harder today than I expected. The koi being very, very coy about eating the dog biscuits, but they do seem to be preferring the soft dog biscuits. Do I have any here? Ah, yeah. If I was a better video maker, I'd be prepared. But I got these soft hooker biscuits. Nice and squishy. You can squish them down, hook them on. I do find that there is the odd few which sink, which is really annoying. I'm using a very, very fine gauge carp hook to try and counteract that, but they're still taking on a bit of water here and there. But it's certainly easier than trying to band a blooming hard dog biscuit on some of these little guys. They're just way too solid for that. I do have some bands, but gotta keep going, gotta keep going. It's obviously rained this morning. The sun's starting to come out now, and actually the humidity has just gone through the roof. It's actually a bit sweaty out here for the old piscator. Might feed up a little bit of swim now, one or two little areas along the margins, go for a little bit of a break, sit down, have a drink, chill out, rethink, and try for some more. There's a lot of really stunning koi going up and down this edge. I was on the other side by the island, and I've walked all the way round just to be able to sneak up on them a bit better. I've got to be quiet and I've got to be stealthy, and more than anything, I've got to be lucky. Let's see how lucky I am. Where else in the world can you go and have fishing like this? Oh, well, I suppose Japan. Think about it. There's a lot of koi carp there, isn't there? Perhaps China, Indonesia, that sort of way. To be fair, it's pretty hot today, so I'm struggling, so it's no good for me. Right, what's your best side? Of course, every side's the best side, really, isn't it, with a koi? But, go on, bristling. There we are. Another gorgeous, well, I'd say a white koi, but actually there's a lot of dark black patterning on the back. There's actually a bit of orange on the underbelly. Sort of a multicoloured koi, very tubby, very angry. This one put up a hell of a fight for the size. Took me for a right run round, but your run is over. Thank you very much, fish. Beautiful. This one came out of a little patch of lilies. And I don't think it could see me. Well, I know it couldn't see me. And I don't think it knew that there was a trap laid in amongst them. Not a massive one, but a very nice fish. Beautiful white fish. And in fact, it has a really, really prominent marking on the tail, which I'll show you in close up in a minute. But what a stunner. Another cracking koi from the koi lake. Beautiful. Here we are, there's the fish closer up. A nice sort of blue eye. Little marking there, easily spot that, but there's this little bit on the tail that you'll easily recognise again. If any of you ever catch this lovely white koi with the spot and the colour at the back, let me know. Beautiful though. What, maybe 4.5. Gorgeous. Oh, it's got to be break time. To be fair, I think I probably only really want to do half a day down here. I'm getting some fantastic fish. But there's so many lakes here at Angler's Paradise to choose from, but it's really hard to know where to go next. I don't know where else I want to go though, that's the problem. All the fish are just fantastic in every single lake here. So where do you choose next? And do you leave here early? Oh, it's one of those never-ending quandaries of Angler's Paradise. Where do you go next? What do you catch next? Do you stay where you are? Do you keep moving? But, oh look, every time you look somewhere there's another beautiful fish. Oh, I could just spend all week here really. Anyway, I can't do that. Break time. Catch a few more fish. See how we get on. I think now it must be break time. There we go. £9, 10 ounces of amazing koi carp. Still a bit jumpy. Let's pop him back down a second once I get a grip. The mat's underneath, so there we go. What an absolutely stunning fish. Took a while to get in. Just a single dog biscuit. That's magic. Angler's paradise magic. God, I'm going to need a break after that. What a fish. £9 and 10 ounces. It was a really wide fish in the water. And I've been seeing it milling around in the water for the past sort of hour or so. It will go over there towards the Monk Way. There we are. And then drift back, and then go away and drift back. And it kept spitting kept sort of trying to mouth the bait, but it kept spitting it out. But on that journey back from the Monk, it had a pal. There were two of them. And I was like, haha, it's mine. So I dropped the dog biscuit down on its nose, and it went for it. Thought no. The other fish went for it. I twitched it a little bit out of the way. Tried it again. He came in, both of them went for it. Twitched it out of the way, got them really fired up for it. And then on the third go, as the fish went for it, I was like, it's all yours, buddy. It's all yours. And bam. Bit of a workout too. Love it. And that here at Angler's Paradise, if you catch a koi carp over £8, you win a bottle of wine, a bottle of Angler's Paradise Ziggy wine, to take with you back home or back to your, well, not back to the villa because they had to give it on a Friday, but you could take it back to the villa and down it before your journey home the next day. It's not recommended, but yeah, you could take it back home with you as a prize winning fish. And a fish that size, that impressive, that beautiful, that stunning, it's definitely worth a prize, isn't it? Definitely. And I've certainly put the effort in today. Whew. Next one to get, it's another 10-pounder. I haven't had 10-pounders today, but I have had a couple of 10-pounders here in the past, and that was very close. But that's a leviathan of a fish, a 10-pounder. You could put a saddle on it and ride it down to the market. You really could. Take it down to Holsworthy. Anyway, I'll have a break and perhaps catch a few more. But I could end my day there, really, couldn't I? I'm so pleased. I've got one which I've been trying to catch all day. Well, I say I've got one, I've hooked it. It's got a great big red mark on its side. Not damage or anything, it's just the colour. It's been bugging me all day. And finally, I've got it. It's not like a big fish. Well, it's a big fish, but oh, I've got to get my net. Bit of a 2 and 8 here. Oh, they really fight, these koi. Much more than any ordinary king carp. Woohoo! And you've really got to make sure you're aware of what you're doing all the time with them, because they can just dart off in a different direction at a moment's notice. And they take a while to tire. And you're going to want to do that, because otherwise you get them on the bank and they jump around like mad things. It's an absolutely beautiful fish. I hope it comes in. I hope I get to show it to you. Ooh. Considering how spooky the fish have been today, there's quite a lot of other fish just milling around with it as it's powering around in the swim. Come on. Got to be tiring by now. Ah, here we go. We're getting there. Oh, maybe not. Didn't like me bending down for the net. She's back off out again. What fantastic fishing. Oh, it's really a joy. It's been a real slog, especially this past week at work. But other stresses and annoyances in my life. I've been a bit down and dreary, just generally. And I've been looking forward to coming to Angler's Paradise again for quite some time. Get away from those lilies. Gives you a workout, that's for sure. But coming here to Angler's Paradise, it's just absolute heaven. Absolute heaven, and this is the peak of heaven. Absolute joy. Are you done now? Are you finished? No. So not really that big a fish. I've got more than enough gear. Well, this is a barbel rod, but yeah, that's you done now. Oh, get in there. God, it's nice when a plan comes together, isn't it? I've been seeing this fish swimming around all day, and I was like, I will get you in my net. Right, let's get you onto the mat. You can follow me, watching where I'm going. The mat's all set up, of course, ready to go. Actually, it's in a bit of sun now, which isn't much good. Let's move that a bit in a bit. Well, I'm going to pop you down, sort this fish out, and I'll see you in but a moment with an absolutely gorgeous fish. You're going to love it. Would you believe it? The hook's come out in the net. Right, promises, promises, wouldn't it? I'm going to promise you a gorgeous koi. Well, it's gorgeous to me because, say, I've been going for it all day. And here she is. Tubby beast with a great big orange blob. In fact, if I turn around, it even goes to the other side. So it's orange all the way over. You can see it properly that way. Look at that, it's like a little saddle. It's a little saddle sore when someone's been riding it. What an absolute gorgeous fish. Very noticeable from the top, of course. Not the biggest fish in the lake, but an absolutely ginormous one to my heart. Thank you very much. Check that out. So pleased. I did give her a quick weigh. £6, another £6, a lot of £6 out today. But a really special one for me. I mean, every single fish is special, isn't it? But I think as human beings, we do anthropomorphise quite a lot with animals, don't we? We'll see a lot of ducks swimming, and we'll imagine Mr. Duck talking to Mrs. Duck and her children ducks and this, that and the other. And we'll actually put like emotions and characters and things onto animals, which don't necessarily, well, I'm not saying they don't have them, but I'm just saying that at that particular time, they're not really exhibiting anything. You put a sort of special prize on something. You know, sometimes you'll be walking down a beach, for example. We've all done it, and we're looking around and we see a stone, like a little special stone, and we'll pick it up and we'll put it in our pocket, and we assign that sort of something to that object. With animals, of course, we do it a lot because they do have their personalities. They do their strange things sometimes. We like to imagine they're sort of exhibiting more something than they actually are. And that's certainly what I did with that koi carp earlier. You know, it was one of those things where it's like, it knows I'm here, and it knows that that hook has been embedded in that one particular dog biscuit amongst those 15 that's out there. And it can see me here, and it knows I'm there. And yeah, I've been following it around all over the place. I was over by the pagoda, and I followed it all the way around, and now it's all the way over here. And it makes it 10 times more special somehow to pursue something. You can see why, like, carp anglers go after named fish sometimes. You know, you give it the name Big Berthy or Fatty McGee or what have you, and they spend weeks and months and years trying to catch that one fish. It suddenly takes that otherworldly sort of quality about it, and that was great. I really enjoyed that. Not that I didn't enjoy catching the others, but just having that one particular fish that you've seen all day, it suddenly becomes that little challenge, you know. And even if you don't catch it, it's something for you to try and catch next time. Anyway, more fish to catch, I suppose. It really never ends down here on the Koi Lake. Fun that starts the moment you get here, absolute joy, and it sadly ends the moment you have to go. But for all the time you're down here, it's absolutely magical. You could lose yourself, and the dream world is down here if you're not too careful. You have to remind yourself that you are actually here to catch some fish. That's what I keep having to do all the time. So let's get to it. Let's get this all rigged back up again and get back on it. God, I'm exhausted. Anyway, I couldn't decide whether to get, as my last fish of the day, an orange one or a white one or a black one. So I got one with all the colours for you. How about that? The Piscator provides. Look at the colours of that fish. Absolutely stunning. It's just as amazing the other side. Let me just flip you around. Look at that. Angler's Paradise Koi Lake Magic. I think that's the perfect place for the end of a video. Thank you very much for joining me here at the Koi Lake Angler's Paradise. I don't know about the fish, but I certainly will see you next time on the bank. Bye. Mwah. Let's pop you back. What a stunner. Now that is just absolutely magical. What a day. Hello. I know I said goodbye, but you and I both know, especially if you're anglers, there's always time for one last fish if the fishing is this good. So here we go, just a little bonus one last fish. Still feisty. A gorgeously patterned and coloured white and orange koi. Like this video if you've liked it, and subscribe to the Passionate Piscator YouTube channel, and I will see you next time. Mwah, on the bank. Bye. Look at the slime.